I appreciate you all being here. Uh, without any further delay, I told you I was going to talk about the hero. I love the image of a hero because I think it paints a much more vivid illustration of the whole package, right? Struggle, denial, acceptance, achievement, purpose. That's the idea of the story. While I think it's important that you and your business strive to be a hero or to be the hero in somebody's story, I think it's equally important that you understand how to position your customer or community as the hero of your story. Learn their backstory before you can really thrust your customer into the hero's role. You have known who they are, and you find that pretty much find that out by knowing where they came from, what's bugging them, and what they really would rather have that they don't currently possess, right? This kind of information isn't rentable, folks. You can't go buy it. You have to dig. And it starts with asking questions, listening, paying close attention. I don't know how you could manage this, but I've always thought the greatest marketing research tool you could ever create is a family dinner. You could learn more than you would ever need about a person by basically going with them to their parents' house for dinner one Sunday. I mean, many of you've done this with your better half, dates. You got to know about your future wife just by going to a Sunday dinner with them. But short of that, how could you learn about what makes your customer tick? Spend time and earn the right to learn about them outside of the business context. That's what you have to do. Follow everything they share on social media. It's a lot like Sunday dinner in our times today. There is no greater way to earn trust than to demonstrate you understand someone else's story. Give them an antagonist, right? Every great story has a bad guy or girl, to be politically correct, all right? It's what makes us cheer for the good guy or good girl that's important. What's that? What's the thing that makes us cheer? It's the bad guy. There are times when you draw your customer closer by simply doing what? Helping them understand who or what the antagonist is. Sometimes they don't even realize that the problem is that their business can be solved, folks. Many times you have to help them to see the extent of the enemy's grip. Now, more often than not, the word antagonist is simply a metaphor for a challenge like leaking profit. You've heard that. I'm sure you've heard that, Brent. Poor time management. Many of you've heard that. Wasted effort, lost opportunity, living in pain, or needless risk. But you have to help them understand what they are up against. Call them to duty in order in order for someone to be a hero, you must be called to be a hero. They must have an idea what to do or who to serve or what they're doing. So your marketing story must give them hope. They have the power to overcome whatever challenge is in front of them. I know this is starting to sound a little dramatic, but that's the point. A connection to a higher purpose, or at least a meaningful idea, is much stronger than simply trying to convince someone that they need what you have to offer. In order to create impact in a life of your customer, they need to feel like what you have to offer is hope and one strong word, and that is empowerment. Those are pretty strong words, and you've got to believe them if your customer is going to be the center of your story. Help them preserve, or rather, basically, let me say it this way. Once you've demonstrated that you know who your customer is, you know what a rough time they've endured trying basic results and not getting any answers to their problem, you know what the future of them or the challenges that are going to come in the future to that customer. You know what it is already because you've learned about them. You've learned what that customer is going through. And that's what I want you to think about. Now, I guess you could demonstrate all of this most easily in your sales, right? service, if it's service that you do, and follow-up. But it must be a part of the story that your customer understands is a given, right? Free them, free them. Freedom is the word. Finally, help them understand the results they've received, help them measure just how far they've come, how much impact they are making on your business, and perhaps in the lives of those they now impact. Since I'm attempting to apply perhaps rather abstract ideas to no particular business, I know some will find this idea a bit confusing at best. But here's my suggestion. Grab a piece of marketing copy you currently share probably with customers and ask yourself these series of questions. And once I finish these series of questions, I'm going to play one of our videos that we just did, and I want you to tell me if it covers these series of questions. Now, here's what you're going to look for. Does it demonstrate that we get who they are? Does it paint a picture of the real challenges they face? That's question number 2, right? Does it provide hope for what a future without those challenges could be like? Number 4, does it give a solution for how those challenges could be addressed? And number 5, does it offer proof that others are indeed experiencing these results? Let's go with the commercial.
By the age of 50, half of all men suffer the side effects of an enlarged prostate, according to the National Institute of Health. So if you're tired of getting up at all hours of the night to relieve the persistent need to urinate, or don't like having your day interrupted because your bladder never seems to empty and constant visits to the bathroom is interfering with your life, there's a new product on the market that could help you get your life back. It's called Real Electron Energized Prostate Aid. Help get control of your life today by visiting our website at www.getrealabundance.com. Get Real Electron Energized Prostate Aid today and get your life back.
I got my life back.
I got my life back. I've got my life back. Isn't that what he said? I got my life back. So what does our product do? Go ahead and start that. So what does our product do? Does it demonstrate that we get who they are? Yeah, we see they're in suffering. They're challenged, right? Does it paint a picture of the real challenges they face? Oh, you can't paint a bigger picture than video, can you? Does it provide hope for what a future without those challenges could be like? Is it doing that? Does it give a solution for how those challenges could be addressed? And finally, folks, does it offer proof that others who are indeed experiencing these results, the good results? Now, as I said before, Donald or Dennis Miller, but he wrote this book called The Story Brand Framework, which is structured around the 7 most common components of a story. We just talked about them in other ways, but I'm gonna give them to you clearly now. Write this down. Hero, you gotta have a hero, every story. Villain, you gotta have a guide. That's us. You have to have a plan. You have to call that hero to action, right? Failure has to occur and success. Let's break down the story brand framework a little more detail. For your customer is always the hero of your story. The first question you need to ask when creating your story is, who's the hero? Most people in marketing today think the hero is the product, right? Or some of the marketers think it's them. They think they're the hero of the story. And that's a big mistake. The hero of your brand story is not you. It is not your product. It is always the customer. That's the hero. Focusing exclusively on the needs and wants of your customer is critical in creating your brand story. Again, Donald Miller, the guy that wrote this concept out, drives the point home by using an example of luxury resorts and using that example in his marketing message. The resorts website showcased great photos of the building, the front desk and the restaurant, and listed all the services offered. It's almost as if they were selling the property. They included lengthy blocks of text about the resort story. It was all focused on them rather than on how they could fulfill the needs of their customers. So consequently, they weren't realizing the success they were aiming for. At some point, folks, someone realized that the customers simply wanted relaxation and comfort. They completely, therefore, overhauled their entire website to feature things like an inviting bath massage sessions or tasteful towels and robes, much more appealing, much more to the heart of who that customer and what that customer is looking for. All of the comforts text was slimmed down to a simple line that focused on relaxation and luxury. And what did we do here today? We gave you a line here on this piece. I got my life back. It's almost like a song. It's almost like hit records. Every hit record has a tagline, has a hook. The hero, right? The hero needs to be that part of that hook. And the hero's desires are then met in your story. It's a successful story. Who is the villain of your brand story? You got to figure that out too. People like to be understood and to know that somebody can understand their problem. Demonstrating that you understand the customer's internal problem will immediately engage them with whatever solution you might be offering. Focusing on your customer's villain, right? Their internal problem or inner frustrations might be enough for them to decide to choose you over the competition. Always keep in mind that your customer is the hero. And all story heroes must have a villain. I know you want to know about that villain. Guess what? You're going to have to wait till next week. I'll be telling you about how you craft this story. And it's going to be wonderful to unfold. But let me just share a few things with you. If you go to a party, I know we're not doing that in the pandemic, but if you go to an event, say you're having a cup of wine, I just want you to know this. Nobody wants you to sit there and just talk about yourself. That's not going to get you anywhere. Your goal must be to find out what that customer's interest is. If you're interested in selling anything. Now, of course, we here at Real Water, we are interested in wellness. We're interested in health. And we want to manifest that interest through the products and services that we provide. So again, I appreciate everybody being here. I know you want to hear the rest of this story, and I'm going to tell it to you next week. So thank you all for coming. I hope you all take the time to take a look at our website, getrealabundance.com, and have a great week and weekend. This is Real Talk, and this is DeMarco signing out.